morning and welcome to At Home with Roby. I'm Patrick McIsaac, president of Roby Electric, along with Trent Haston, president and CEO of the Roby family of companies. Trent, good morning, sir. How are you today?
You forgot to say we are your host.
We are your hosts.
I love how you say that. It just gets me in the
Hold
mood.
on. We are your hosts. Which one was better?
I like both, man. I like anything that comes out of your mouth, Patrick. Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. What are we going to talk about today?
We are going to talk about a lot of stuff, but primarily we're going to have our friends from Moisture Lock on here, and we're going to talk about foundations, cracks, fun things that nobody wants to address. I'm sure you see it at your house, think it's something minor, but there could be something more to it.
So if you don't know, Angie Roby is in the general contracting business,
right.
So we see all the time usual suspects. Number one, I said, I think we had these folks on here a couple weeks ago, and I said we didn't really even realize that we had our roofers, our favorite roofers, on here the next show. But I said the two vital organs of a home are the foundation and the roof, and so that's how I believe, and that's what I know. So, but we run into a lot of foundation issues these days that have been created by the droughts and by the rainy seasons, the extremes that I think we've had in the last 20 or 25 years, or it might have been going on forever, but it's kind of my experience in my career. So it's great to have these folks on. We're gonna yin and yang Angie Roby family, and Moisture Lock, and talk about what we know, and hopefully you learn something about foundations and foundation problems and how they're repaired and where we go from there.
Well, it also has to do with the clay that we have, right? Red clay here in Charlotte is known to settle. I mean, I grew up in Georgia where we had Georgia red clay as well, but it is notorious for settling. So, I think all houses in the area are eventually going to have some sort of settlement.
It's funny. Everybody knows I go to Illinois, was there a couple weeks ago. Their dirt's black.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I guess, and that's why they farm. And I don't know, clay must grow tobacco. I don't know.
I guess
mess
cotton,
up foundations.
Tobacco,
I don't know.
right?
Make clay balls.
There you go.
Throw them at people. Get them. Don't get clay in his eyes, Trent. Oh, that's more on the river.
Is that something your mom would say? Was that your mom's voice there?
That was my neighbor.
Your neighbor. Okay.
that was
right. Good.
That was Jimmy's mom.
There
No.
you go. There you go. Well, speaking of foundation, Trent, you put on your Facebook page a picture of a foundation that was being built in Asheville with David Green.
Yeah, so I don't know if you know, but the Roby family of companies was nominated for a Charlotte Business Journal Family Business Award back several months ago, and we won for our category. I think we were the upper middle size business. There was 5 categories on business sizes, and we were fortunate enough to win. So DHG sponsored the event, a regional accounting firm, and for the winners, they took us up. One of their clients is the Biltmore family, generational family business as well. Pretty interesting story. If you don't know about it, it's awesome. But took us up to the Biltmore house for a getaway. Reagan and I got to go earlier this week. And speaking of foundations, they were talking about our tour. We got a back scenes tour, so basically where it was really interesting. I've been in a Biltmore house a couple of times, and I love it. I'm fascinated by the craftsmanship and how much it would cost these days. Like,
goodness, all
all the stone on that house was carved on site. They put it up and carved it on site. So and they got gargoyles and everything. I would say that roof is slate and copper. I mean, I'm guessing that roof today would cost $3 to $4 million. I mean, I think online on Wikipedia it says that house built today would be close to $100 million. We were thinking more along the lines of $200 million, just because labor is so much more expensive. But the one thing, we got the back scenes tour where the servants and the workers lived and worked, which was still really nice. And she said the best thing about this house is all the doorways are still square, over 100 years old.
Wow.
And I said, well, we were with a group of folks that other business owners not in the construction world, and I said, well, that's all due to how good the foundation is. I said, and these walls, if you notice, they're like 2 feet and sometimes 3 feet thick, because you got the stone that's a foot thick, and then you have the walls that are 12 inches thick the way they build them. Instead of now they're 2x4s, they build them with 12-inch studs. I said, but the only way that's held up, and she's able to say that with all this weight, is the foundation is so strong and deep. I said, I bet the foundation, I said, We build foundations now 2 to 3 feet deep, really, is kind of the way I think about it. I said, I bet this foundation's 30 feet deep or more. And she said, you are right. She said, it's 29 feet deep.
Huh.
And she said it took 2 years to do the foundation. I think the house took 5 years, and it took 2, if I'm correct, to do the foundation, get it out of the ground, and that's the hard part.
Well, so the people that built that house obviously live by the same philosophy you do: foundation and roof. Foundation and roof. You talked about both those things in that story. Speaking of big houses, did you see? This is going to get off topic. Did you see where Prince is now going to allow people to tour his house? The people from Graceland are taking over management of Prince's house, and now you'll be able to tour his house. Did you hear about that?
That's the last place I'd want to go.
Yeah. Why? Because it's so cold in Minneapolis. I think it's Minneapolis, right? Minnesota is where he's at.
I don't care where he lives. I don't want to go look at his stuff.
You ever been to Graceland?
No, I don't want to go look at his stuff.
You don't want to look at Elvis's stuff.
No. I don't want people in my house. Stay out.
I bet you Prince would say this. Let's hope he's got a good foundation with all those people trouncing through there, huh?
I love Prince. What is he, a symbol?
Yeah, he is the artist formerly known.
Well, I'll tell you, though, while we were in the mountains, so we got done with our thing, and we have a couple jobs in the mountains. We have David Green's our superintendent. He's building a new house, roughly 10,000 square feet, and getting it out of the ground. Foundations are in, looks awesome, and then we've also completed an office project that he did. He was a super on as well. So got to stop by. I'm not always in Asheville. I got to stop by, proud of our work, and also pat David on the back. I know he was wondering why I didn't take him to lunch or buy him a drink, but that's about the third visit he'll earn that. So it's been a great week.
Good people up there.
Yep.
And we're getting ready to have Moisture Lock on here, and they have something. They have the WebMD for your foundation. I'm not kidding. We're going to talk about that when we come back. You're listening to At Home with Roby. We'll be right back.